Welcome to Sports Betting Tips. My name is Scott Pritchard, professional sports bettor, senior handicapper at VegasInsider.com. Today's topic is logic. Do you find that you have an unfair advantage in life going through your day-to-day operations by not being an emotional wreck, by not being governed by what state of mind you might be in? Do you find that you have a distinct advantage in life if you stay stoic, if you base your decisions on logic? The same rules apply in professional sports betting. I came to Vegas in April of 1993 from the Chicagoland area. And again, I've gone from one of the world's worst sports bettors to having won sports handicapping contests over the years, and now being one of the world's top professional sports bettors, to where a lot of casinos, sports books in Las Vegas limit how much I can bet. About 30% of the time, they flat out refuse my action. In fact, last night, looking at a future bet months in advance, I have access to countless sports books in the islands, countless sports books in Vegas. I do not bet teams, I bet numbers. I bet value. I drove across town on a Friday night, rush hour traffic, to pounce on this value bet number. And this is at a place that will actually take a bet. So I felt pretty good about it, but I never believe it till I see it. They kept me at the bet window for 5 to 7 minutes. They came out and said, "We'll give you half of what you're asking for." Even though I knew there were two places on the planet that had this specific number. So I said, listen, there's another place that has this number. I thought I would just bet it all here instead of spreading the wealth, so to speak. And they said, we only want half of what you want. So I got in my car after I bet it. I drove across town, rush hour traffic on a Friday night. They would only give me 1/5 of what I wanted. So I was able to bet 60% of what I wanted. But I told them, I said, hey, let me talk to the main guy. I know him personally. And they said, well, they tried calling him to approve the bet, but he's on vacation, not answering his phone. I said, well, you at least give me twice of what you're offering me. You're only giving me 1/5 of what I wanted, but they wouldn't take any more. So that goes back to, and now obviously those numbers no longer exist. They actually said at the second place, they said, well, the number is off, so that's why we will only give you 1/5. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't say it, but of course, that's why I'm there. Unfair advantage. You only bet if you are getting the best of it. I thought I could slide in, slide out. I know I'm a marked man. I know I have a target everywhere I go, but still, I thought I could get down. But 60% beats zero. But I was hoping to get 100% of my bet down. So here's my point. When it comes to betting, you cannot bring emotion into it. An example, Sirianni, the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles during the Super Bowl. I'm at the VIP Super Bowl party at one of the sports books or at one of the banquet halls here in Las Vegas this past year. During the national anthem, you see a grown man on the sidelines with elephant tears coming down his face. It's the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's like, are you kidding me? You don't want your money on this guy. He's just happy to be there. He's an emotional wreck. Conversely, Andy Reid, stoic, void of emotion, the best in-game coach on the planet. Philadelphia had more talent. That's why they were favored. But at halftime, the Chiefs, based on in-game adjustments and coaching, scored on every single possession and ultimately won the Super Bowl as they came from behind to do so. So Sirianni is a very good coach for the Eagles. All I'm saying is he hadn't been there before, and he was overcome by emotions. In business, dealing with big money, you check your emotions at the door. I know personally in relationships, I never say to myself, well, how do I feel about this? Screw that. My heart has gotten me in trouble many times. Heartache City. But instead, if you say to yourself, what do I think about this? It's a much better question. It's applicable to business, money, relationships, and sports betting. You do not want to be the guy. We all know the guy at the sports book who is screaming and yelling and carrying on. He's an emotional wreck. And it's like, dude, that's just the opening kickoff. They just flipped the coin toss. Relax. Believe in your ability to handicap and pick winners. It's a 3-hour contract. It's not a 37-second contract. And you'll also know, those of you who bet sports know, the person that's screaming and yelling and living and dying with every play has the least amount of money on the game. Joel Embiid, Philadelphia 76ers years ago. Kawhi Leonard, LA Clippers, made a grown man cry. Elephant tears in the hallway for Joel Embiid. That's your leader. That's your go-to guy, a guy who cries when things don't go according to plan. How would you like to go to war with that guy? Okay. The same guy who won the MVP because of the Mark Jacksons of the world, the sports writers and broadcasters who were voting. I have no problem with Embiid winning it because he did lead the league and he did average one more block per game than Joker. The problem I have is the fact that he was openly campaigning and soliciting for it when Jokic dominated more than twice as many assists per game, more than 1.5 rebounds per game. But again, do you want to go with a stoic, proven person that's in control, or do you want to go with an emotional wreck? The decision is yours. You don't want to be that guy at the sportsbook that's screaming and yelling and carrying on like a buffoon, okay? Bet with your head, not over it. Believe in your ability to make money betting sports long term. It has to do with just some simple things: keeping an open mind, no emotion, logic only. You don't have a favorite team. My favorite team is whoever's on my ticket. You bet value, you bet numbers, you don't bet teams. See the cashier.